Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Cardano and Polkadot. Which one is giving us better returns? If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Now, at least a few of you probably clicked on this video thinking it was going to be about some fundamental analysis, but as I've said before, we'll leave the fundamental analysis for the bear market, for the bull market. It's all about momentum. So, where are they? What are they doing with respect to USD, with respect to Bitcoin, with respect to Ethereum, and with respect to each other? We're going to cover that in this video, so make sure you subscribe. We like to talk about the markets from a slightly different perspective. Okay, so first we'll start with ADA, and we see against USD, it's up significantly over the last year. From the bottom of our wick, if anyone was so lucky to buy there, at the current valuation, ADA's up a modest 7,000%, okay? Now, from the bottom of our candle back in March, if you didn't get the wick, it's up around 5,200%. And so ADA has been doing relatively well. What about DOT? Well, we can't really go back that far with DOT, not very easily anyways. It wasn't trading on the open market. If we sort of maybe go to some of these candles right here and look to see how far up it is over the last few months, since August, it's up 1,235% since, say, August 18th. So maybe we should do a comparison between ADA as of August 18th, and that way we can actually make a decent comparison between the two. Okay, so since August 18th, ADA is in fact up about 835%, which is less than what DOT is up since then, but we were also measuring it from its recent rally. So it's sort of not a fair comparison because it was measured, it was just after ADA had increased 545%. And it was sort of like at the peak of this thing right here. If we were to sort of change that slightly and say, okay, well, let's measure it from the end of September, ADA's up 1,500%, and if we measure it from the end of September for DOT, we can see it would only be up 745% or 48%. So it's somewhat subjective as to where you measure it from because each asset sort of goes on its own run whenever the hell it feels like it. And so let's be somewhat flexible with that. Now, what about their ADA Ether valuation and the DOT Ether valuation? So what about their Ether valuations? What do those look like? Are they both outperforming Ethereum? Because we said before, any altcoin should not only outperform Bitcoin, but it should also outperform Ethereum at key phases. Of course, there's going to be some times where it doesn't, but if it never goes through phases where it's outperforming Ethereum, like Litecoin since April of 2019, I'm not sorry about that, then, you sort of see these things where, well, it's worth holding, right? It's not financial advice, of course, but if it's outperforming Ethereum for very long periods of time in key phases where ADA is going up a modest 400% against Ethereum, then you start to see, okay, well, this is what merits holding it. And ADA actually has a very nice valuation against Ether. It has, these nice moves from down here to some of these local tops, and then occasionally you get these moves to even higher valuations against Ethereum. Okay, so this is what I really like to see with altcoins, where I can sort of see where are they very undervalued, when are they getting fairly overvalued. Doesn't mean that ADA can't go up against Ethereum from here. We know that it can. In fact, it's been up even higher. If we were to take a measured move from the current price up to where it has been historically, we might expect it. It could go up another 100% potentially. But you just sort of get the idea that ADA is getting a lot more extended recently than it has been in the past, except for in 2018. Now, what about DOT? Is DOT performing well against Ethereum? Well, yes, it is going through a phase where it is, and since January, DOT is up 180% against Ethereum, and from the local top, it was up 260%. So DOT is also doing well against Ethereum, so this is a good thing. Remember, if we're holding altcoins, they have more units of risk than things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Therefore, we would hope to see higher returns, especially in a bull market, right? Because in a bear market, we know that a lot of these cryptocurrencies, these altcoins, will bleed a lot more than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So at least in the bull market, they better perform. Otherwise, what's the point, right? So from here, the ADA Bitcoin valuation, has it been doing well? Well, it has. In fact, as measured from January, we saw it move up 500% against Bitcoin. Right now, it's up about 312% against Bitcoin. For DOT, since say late December, it's currently up around 218% against Bitcoin. So both of them not only are doing well against USD, basically riding up to 20-day. ADA did drop below it. Now it's slightly above it. DOT also slightly dropped below it. Now it's sort of right on top of the 20-day moving average. They're both doing well against USD. They're both doing well against Bitcoin. They're both doing well against Ethereum. But how are they doing against each other? This is the ADA DOT valuation. The ever important ADA DOT valuation, right? Is this not one of the most common trading pairs that everyone's using these days? But anyways, what we notice is that for the time being, ADA is winning, okay? Now, we looked at this earlier, and you could say, well, sort of depends on where you measure it from, right? It depends on what your reference point is. But if you just pull up the ADA DOT valuation, you don't really care what the reference point is. You do notice that the valuation of ADA against DOT is trending up, meaning for this to be moving slightly up, the valuation of ADA is going up relative to the valuation of DOT. So at least in the short term, ADA is winning. Okay, Cardano is winning so far. Because if we go from, say, September of 2020 to today, the ADA DOT valuation is up about 100%, meaning for every dollar you put in ADA as opposed to DOT back in September, you would have gained basically another 2x on that investment. It's 2x more, at least with respect to DOT's valuation. So it's just something to consider. I don't necessarily know if this is sustainable. I mean, we have dropped below it at a couple different points here, right? We dropped all the way back down. Currently, you can see against the ADA DOT valuation is about 35,000. Over here, we were at 16,000. When we dropped back down, when we dropped back down to these levels, let's grab a rectangle here. So when we were at these levels, we were more or less range bound between, say, 16,000, 17,000 up to 20,000. So far, that tends to be the bottom of the ADA DOT valuation. In the short term, ADA is outperforming DOT. Well, I mean, since September anyways, because that's what we have the data for. It has been systematically and slowly moving up, okay? I mean, nothing to, I don't think it's necessarily anything to write home about, but you can sort of see that it moves from the top of the channel to the bottom, right? And to the top and to the bottom. Back to near the top and back down. These are even larger capitulations. Back to the top. Here's the top again, back down, back to the top, back down. The ever important, and from here on, very closely studied, ADA DOT valuation. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Remember, we have the altcoin season sale. You can find a link to that in the description below as well. You get access to the weekly reports, the weekly premium videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the Telegram chat room, the risk dashboard, the Into the Cryptoverse app, and more. Make sure you guys check it out before the prices go up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your alerts, give the video a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Bye.